Hello and welcome to the House of Wellness. I'm Luke Darcy and I'm happy as always to be alongside one of my favourite people of all time, Jo Stanley. Hello, Jo.
Awesome to see you, Darcy. I do love doing this show week in, week out. I'm looking forward to today's show as we're celebrating one of my all-time favourite things, women.
Well, can't argue with that, Jo, and I've got some very special women in my life, as we all do, as you know.
Yes, Tuesday, March the 8th is International Women's Day, and I think it's a really important day to put our arms around all the women that we love, respect and admire, and also to acknowledge that there's still a fair way to go on the road to gender equality.
We've always been big supporters right here on the House of Wellness of girls getting into STEM, and I see that flow through into the confidence in my daughter and just how the world is open no matter what it is, business, politics, starting your own business. It feels as though it's a much more open environment for the young women coming through. Now, this is a great story, Jo. I've been wanting to talk to you about this for ages. Starting your own business is tough, but you've done it. One of the newest entrepreneurs in the country, and we're incredibly proud of you, Jo, what you're doing with Broad Radio. Can you tell us a bit about it, because it's such a passion project for you and a great achievement?
Thanks, Das. That's really lovely. It is a massive thing. I never imagined I'd call myself an entrepreneur, that's for sure. But I am creating a radio network for women by women called Broad Radio. It's the first in Australia. And I'm doing that because I really see that there's a gap in live radio for women who want to hear stories and news and conversations that are relevant to them. Because there's lots of podcasts, but you and I, we love live radio. We understand that it connects people, and I think that it's a real opportunity for women to connect with each other and feel really understood and to really support each other to live our fullest lives. So, yes, we're a startup. We're very early stage. So at the moment, we're building an app so everybody will be able to listen wherever they go. But at the moment, we're broadcasting on Facebook.
Well, Jo, you've had some incredible guests on Broad Radio already, but I'm really looking forward to your next guest, who's truly inspirational on every level. She's an author, personal coach, Kemi Nekapil.
I have had a dream of interviewing Kemi for a very long time. She's worked through her own adversity to become one of the most powerful coaches and speakers. She trained in India as a yoga teacher. She trained with the world-renowned Dr. Brené Brown on courage and leadership. She pioneered the raw food movement in Australia, and her passion is to support women to own their voices and step into their power. She is really a remarkable person, and here's a little of what Kemi has to say.
I'm very blessed to work with incredibly successful women in many areas. And when I say success, I don't just mean within their work. I mean, you know, they have families that are working or their sense of self. But within that, as women, we have to operate within a system every single day that in some ways tells us that we are not small enough, that we are too loud, that we are too aggressive. And then add to that as well the intersectionality of colour for me, or for women that have disabilities or people that are neurodivergent. We constantly hear the message that we're not quite good enough yet. And I think, yes, it doesn't matter where we are on the spectrum, it affects us every day.
And Kemi, I think one of the other things that the pandemic really shone a light on was the burden on women, the mental burden, the mental load, the workload, both within and outside of the home. And I sort of think, okay, yes, we can step into our power, and you talk about power of agency, but if you can't walk away from your life, or if you can't actually set a boundary that day, how are women to respond when you feel like, actually, I'm drowning? How can I feel any sense of power in this state right now?
Personally, I think there's a power in owning I am drowning. And actually what a lot of women do is that we fall into this idea that we have to be good, that we have to look as if we have it together all the time, that we're the good wife, the good daughter, the good sister, the good friend, the good everything. So it's powerful to even say, I am drowning. And I would say the next power move is then to share that with someone. And then the next is to ask for the support that you need. That is power. I know in my earlier days, I would, have this kind of veneer of being very strong, and I was kind of invulnerable and, just kind of like, I can do it all. And, if you want a job done properly, do it yourself, because I was kind of raised that way. And then I realised over time that actually it made me feel incredibly isolated and incredibly lonely. And when I started to practice saying to people, I'm not going well, like I'm struggling, I need help, that actually created deeper and more powerful connections with the women that I surrounded myself with. And I can honestly say that now within my friendship groups, and even as a female entrepreneur with other female entrepreneurs, that we can call each other in tears saying, I cannot believe this happened, but we can also call each other with great success and celebration about something that has worked within our life or within our work. So I think even in some ways we're breaking the status quo as women to say, I don't have it all together all the time. I need help and I need support.
Darcy, I just love that Kemi is all about helping women understand their strengths and power that we all have inside us, regardless of circumstance, and so that we can then mentor each other to do the same. I just really love that so much as a message.
Such a great purpose-driven space that you and Kemi are in, so well done again.
Yeah, thanks. And that when you empower women, you change society towards a more compassionate, healthy, thriving community. That's what International Women's Day is all about.